the landscape is shifting fast, right? Professionals are being asked to do it. We're doing a lot with a lot more with less, and sometimes we need to find new ways to work smarter.
Welcome back to Forged in Focus, the podcast where we dive deep into the issues shaping the future of American manufacturing. I'm your host, John Ward. Today, I'm sitting down with someone who helps steer one of the most influential organizations in global supply management. Rita Byrd serves on the board of directors for ISM, the Institute for Supply Management, the group behind the infamous monthly PMI number, which is the Purchasing Manufacturers Index for manufacturing. This number is one that everyone from Wall Street analysts to manufacturing leaders watch like a hawk. Rita has spent her career shaping how companies think about procurement, ethics, and long-term supply chain strategy. And today, we're diving into the real-world challenges and opportunities she sees from her seat on the board. We'll talk about everything from the PMI's impact on industry confidence, to the future of technology and supply chains, to how the next generation can prepare to lead. So let's dive in. Rita, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here today. I love the energy and wisdom you always bring to the conversations that we have when we're together. So thanks for joining me.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to join you and share the work that ISM's doing to elevate procurement supply chain professionals across industries. Appreciate you having me.
No, that's great. Well, listen, let's just jump straight into the deep end with a cannonball and get this conversation started. A lot of listeners might not know what ISM is. It's the Institute for Supply Management, and you guys produce a manufacturing PMI number, which is a Purchasing Manufacturers Index. Tell us what role ISM plays in the supply chain and procurement space.
Absolutely. So you had mentioned it as the Institute for Supply Management. ISM is a leading professional organization for supply chain and procurement practitioners. ISM Houston connects professionals across industries in a very dynamic supply chain hub that we have here in the area, right? A lot of different industries represented. So the organization mentors emerging talents, hosts events, tackles real world challenges such as supplier risks, economic volatility, talent retention, generational shifts that are related to that, sustainability, digital transformation, lots of topics. So we recently launched an AI Center of Excellence. We have a
Oh, very
scholarship program where we have a military outreach program. So lot going on
Yeah.
with ISM Houston.
So how many members do you guys currently have with ISM Houston?
We're over 1,000 now. We've grown over the last couple of years, about 30%. So a lot of concentrated efforts in growing our membership and reaching out to those that um, different areas of the organization or different areas of supply chain that need attention. So
Yeah.
we're 1,080 or so members and been holding steady there for a while.
And from my understanding, you guys are one of the strongest in the nation, from
Absolutely.
what
So
I've
you,
heard. So
yes, you're right.
kudos to you guys and everything that you're doing
Thank you.
there in Houston. So ISM is known for a lot of standards and certifications. Why are these important in today's business environment? And in particular, let's talk about the monthly PMI number, which we report in our newsletter every month. That's a big one. I know Wall Street, every manufacturer out there, they keep an eye on that PMI number that you guys produce.
Right, it is a very important number that everyone watches every month, since 1948, so a long time ago, 77 years ago,
Yeah.
they implemented this index. It's an economic indicator that shows the health of the manufacturing and service sectors. It tells whether supply chains are speeding up or slowing down, which is critical really for procurement leaders to make strategic decisions. So it offers some of the most reliable economic indicators available out there, provides guidance to supply management professionals, economists, sorry, analysts, government, and business leaders. So The report's available. There's two, like I mentioned, the manufacturing PMI comes out on the first of every month, and then the services PMI comes out on the third of every
Yeah.
month.
Yeah, I know for us, internally, we track that, and our market almost follows that index to a T. It, to me, is one of the best out there as an indicator of where the market is going. So, I know a
Yeah.
lot of work goes into that, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, one thing
So
I want to mention, John, too, is that there's monthly surveys that go out to purchasing and supply chain executives
mhm,
from a broad range of industries, right? So it's an anonymous survey that's sent out, and that information is brought back in and goes over like new orders, production, employment, lots of different areas to just see where we're improving, staying the same, or worsening. Just there's a lot that goes into it every month for sure.
yeah, no, that's good information. Yeah, we always, that 50 is the bar. Are we above the 50 mark or below the 50 mark? Are we contracting, expanding as an economy? So we're always tracking that and watching that very closely.
Yeah, one
So
more thing, John, real quick before we move on. There's also a Houston business report, a PMI indicator as well that
okay,
has been tracked for 25 years. So quite a lengthy amount of time there as well, leading indicators for the Houston economy. So it's interesting to see the comparison between the U.S. indicators and the Houston market. Currently, Houston is expanding and showing a significant, strong growth in the area.
okay, yeah, I'll need to check that one out. I haven't looked for the Houston one yet, so we'll have to follow that one for sure. So how does the ISM board really help shape the future direction of the organization?
So the board is made up of 40 volunteers across quite a few different areas. So we've got business reports that we just talked about. We have a brand new AI Center of Excellence, hot topic these days, as we all learn and grow and understand how to use that in our day to day work. We have a sponsorship area of our board, academic partnerships, so interactions with the colleges in the area, the universities in the area, emerging professionals group, students, scholarships, programming. I could go on.
Yeah.
We have special events. We have a golf tournament. Those are just to name a few. So there's a lot that goes into the organization, a lot of volunteer hours and collaboration behind the scenes. We have monthly meetings and preparation for our programming. So that is our board, and then we also have an executive advisory board. There are senior leaders from various Houston companies that shape our strategy and share their insights and make ISM Houston where they contribute to where professionals at every level can really grow and lead.
And you guys have a lot of monthly meetups, isn't that correct? Just to get people together and gather around a certain topic?
Yeah, we do. So we have a monthly professional development meeting, and so we have that on the second Tuesday of every month.
Mhm.
And then we have board meetings that go on behind the scenes once a month as well. But yes, those are our core programming, and we also have some webinars, networking events, some social activities as well. So we just create space for people to get together so we can really, our tagline is learn, network, and grow. So we really take pride in like getting people together and giving that space for people to interact with each other.
Oh, yeah. Collaboration always produces a lot of great things.
Absolutely, for sure.
So what are some of the challenges that you guys are seeing, within the supply chain and procurement professional scene right
Oh,
now?
yeah, the landscape is shifting fast, right? Professionals are being asked to do it. We're doing a lot with a lot more with less.
Mhm.
And sometimes we need to find new ways to work smarter, right? And how do we do that? So just being resilient overall. We've got a lot of disruptions we're navigating through, whether it's geopolitical, climate events, shifting demands. So diversifying our supply base, regional sourcing, reshoring, all the different conflicts that are going on all over the world. So navigating through that, staying on top of that, and really looking out into the market and leveraging our supply base for some of that information. So I know your company has been a valuable asset in providing that information and collecting that as well.
Yeah.
We have our internal sources and also, look to do that within ISM, within the PMI and other resources as well. So a lot of challenges going on, a lot to balance. Just
Yeah,
trying to stay
the
ahead
la
of.
yeah, the last 5 years seem to be a lifetime for many of us. I mean, all the
Absolutely, for
things that we've
sure.
gone through with the geopolitical, risks out there, COVID, all the supply chain disruption that occurred, Ukraine war, I mean, the list goes on. It just seems
Yeah,
like the last 5 years has been a history lesson for many of us.
absolutely. The digital transformation all on top of
Yes.
that is also a major factor, right? AI, automation, data
Oh,
analytics.
yes.
It's a lot to keep up with, but I think, utilizing the new tools that we have out there can really be a huge benefit.
No, that's great. Yeah, so let's talk about ESG. That term gets thrown around a lot. You know, environmental, social, and governance, along with sustainability, ethical sourcing, are top of mind. How is ISM addressing a lot of these topics?
So we really need to be smart about our strategies, right? As we're working with suppliers, sharing ideas on how to report and track KPIs in those different areas, right? The carbon footprint, the different emission scopes, energy consumption, water usage, waste generation, green products, packaging. There's a lot really to track there. So ISM does focus, and have speakers from time to time speak on a specific topic, around ways to do that and how to measure and keep track of that, and implementing that within our supplier relationships and our day to day work. Right. So prioritizing those suppliers who meet those standards and really operate with that transparency. That's really what we need to be, aware and educated on what those things are to look for and have those
Right.
conversations with suppliers so they have programming that directs that.
Now, are a lot of those topics what you bring into the monthly meetups?
Sometimes, depending on the topic, right? I mean, that depends on sometimes we'll have, we haven't had one yet this year, but I do believe there is one coming up in our programming. Also, as members and our executive board have topics, we may create content as well. So we could have a webinar or, some kind of virtual session on a specific topic. We've had several on tariffs, for example. So just it depends on the needs of the organization and what people are really looking for. So we do take that feedback and form our programs around that.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Well, let's circle back in time a little bit and share your journey and career and what ultimately led you to serve on the ISM board.
So my career in supply chain spans over 2 decades across industries, global roles, from procurement and category management to sustainability, transformation, and many different ways. So I've been a member of ISM for a long time, a big part of my career journey. I've been in and out of ISM, going to meetings, and long before joining the board. And it's always been a source of like connection, to learn and mentor and be mentored, within the organization. So stepping into a leadership role, just felt like a natural step. So I've been serving in the membership space. Like I mentioned earlier, we've grown about 30% of membership. So dedicated efforts in that area to really grow the organization and focus on certain areas that we really feel, especially bringing in younger talent and developing them, over the last couple of years. So I currently serve as the vice president, and going into next year in 2026 in June, I will be the president of the organization. So working with the team and, shaping the strategy that we have going forward, mentoring others on the board and within the organization, building supply chain network and community, providing those opportunities for people to get together and learn from each other. That's what the organization's about. So,
Yeah.
yeah, ISM's been a great addition to my journey.
Well, I've known you for a long time, so I know that mentoring piece probably speaks pretty strong to you. So, kind of
Absolutely.
curious, what was the most surprising or rewarding part of being a board member with
Oh,
ISM?
so many different parts. So, just really giving the opportunities to stretch, leadership, right? Just like having opportunities to speak to different levels of leadership in different organizations, not just the ones that I worked in, but with suppliers, with with other companies in Houston, just having that opportunity to do that, and just to give back and grow in ways that I didn't anticipate. So, learning to navigate those different perspectives and lead in and lead in the strategy of the organization and bring that back into my own career.
Yeah, no, that's great. Now, looking back, what mentors or pivotal experiences really shaped your approach to leadership and supply management?
There's been so I've had a journey across a lot of different industries, right? So just learning from different teams that I've worked for and have worked for me, and finding that collaboration and working with suppliers. So that there isn't really one specific area that I can point out of a specific person or situation. It's just kind of an evolution over time.
Okay, very good. Now, moving forward, you kind of touched on technology a little bit earlier, but
Yeah.
technology like AI and blockchain is completely transforming supply chain management. How do you see their role evolving moving forward?
So AI really is enabling that predictive analytics, right? Real time demand sensing and like smarter planning. So we've I mentioned ISM has launched an AI Center of Excellence. We've got some AI experts on our team now and really digging into that. We had our meeting last month. Our development meeting included the members of that part of our organization were presenting on the topic. So it's just the beginning.
Mhm.
We're all learning and navigating through that, right? So just finding ways to develop that space, take those buzzwords or those different areas that are new to us and learn more about them and see how we can train the supply chain professionals in our space, just to keep up with those emerging technologies.
Yeah.
Leading that, not responding to it, being proactive.
So, talking about that, what skills do you believe procurement leaders of the future are going to need the most?
Oh, we need to know how to leverage AI, right? How to leverage it, data, using those data analytics to make us smarter. I think some people are kind of afraid of AI for different reasons,
Mhm.
but we just need to figure out how to use it to make faster decisions, to be more efficient at what we're doing. It's just knowing how technology can transform the way that we do business, how procurement strategies can be developed. We have access to so much information. We always have, or we have recently, right? But being more intentional about it and understanding what that information could do for us to pivot quicker, manage risks more proactively, align procurement with a broader business goals.
Yeah,
It
we
will really
definitely
help
need to
us develop.
definitely have to embrace it, right?
Absolutely,
I
for
mean, we
sure.
have to embrace it. It's almost as though we've all been given a personal assistant
Exactly.
that is extremely
Exactly.
smart and extremely fast with efficient answers.
Yes, for
It's
sure.
definitely been a game changer for myself and a lot of folks that I know. So I always tell folks you got to embrace it, you got to start using it.
Hmm.
You got to also fact check it a little bit. It can get a little uh, crazy on a few times,
Yeah,
but overall, it's a extremely useful tool,
yeah. We
incredible
just need
tool.
to take the
Yeah.
time to understand it, to use
Yes.
it most effectively, for sure.
So if I was coming into a career just starting off and I wanted to get into supply management, how would I prepare myself for that field right now? Do you have any tips?
Yeah. So I work with a lot with students and emerging professionals. So just, I mean, if professionals are just starting out their journey in supply management, just really lead from where they're at. Be curious, proactive, intentional about building relationships. ISM is a great example of that, an opportunity to build those relationships, learning just beyond that job description, understanding, asking questions. Um, Getting involved in a professional organization like ISM, volunteering for cross-functional projects within your organization. Um, these experiences, they don't build just technical skills, they're building confidence and communication and strategic thinking. It's developing that mindset of continuous learning. leaders in our future will need to be adaptable. And it's important that there's different perspectives along the way to make sure that that growth is happening.
No, that's some great sound advice. I know ISM has a lot of certifications out there. If you could explain some of that and how that continuous education plays a role in staying competitive in your industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So continuous education is one of the most strategic investments any supply chain professional can make, right? In a field that consistently is evolving, staying competitive means you need to stay current. Certifications like the CPSM is a major certification that we offer as a signal to employers and your peers that you're committed to excellence, ethics, lifelong learning. That continuous education builds that confidence.
What does that certification look like? Is that a online learning? Does it take months to get through that certification?
It is there's some training classes that can be taken. There's a modules a test. So it's called a certified professional in supply management, which is what CPSM stands for.
Okay.
It's a globally recognized standard of supply management. And it's multiple competencies. So some of those would include sourcing, category management, supply chain strategy, supplier relationship management, lots of different areas of supply management that you learn about throughout the program, and there are some tests that you take to gain a
Throughout
certification.
that process? Okay.
Yes, and then there's also continuing education hours that need to be maintained to maintain the certification. So ISM continues to help with those continuing education hours, and those are tracked with our ISM global organization.
Okay. So once you get the certificate, every year you gotta get so many professional hours in
Right, right.
that are supporting that certificate.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
great. Yeah, that's fantastic. So what do you see as the most exciting opportunities for ISM over the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
So I keep going back to this technology piece because it's such a big important part right now. So technology driven transformation across supply chain and our procurement organizations and our strategic direction. Um, so ISM is helping out a lot in this space. I mentioned AI Center of Excellence. It's the beginning of this program that we just implemented this year, helping professionals learn, understand these tools. That's just one example, right? Just that in itself is going to be a huge effort to stay up with those
Right.
times because it's changing constantly,
Oh,
right?
daily. Yeah.
The game changer, and it's kind of is changing all the time. I'd say also the growing demand for that inclusive, like, leadership and community building. ISM is a place where professionals can join us at every stage of their career, to find that mentorship, the resources, a sense of belonging. It's especially needed, in an evolving space, right? And these companies are very diverse. We have a lot of different industries in Houston, so we can learn from each other.
Do
And
you guys try to formalize that protege mentorship within ISM, or is it just
a lot of
come
stuff that
join
happens
and
organically. We do
okay.
have a program that was implemented a couple of years ago as a part of, I was a part of it last year, Leadership Development Forum.
Mhm.
There are individuals that are selected by companies all over Houston. There's 10 to 12 people. Actually, I think we have a few more this year that are led by our executive advisory board. There are topics chosen every month and presentations prepared for the rest of the colleagues in the program and presented to with the help of the executive advisory board. So some of those evolve over time after that experience. So it just organically happens. I think
Yes.
the more intentional you are about getting involved, the more opportunities you'll have. So that would be my advice is just the more time you put into anything, the more you're gonna get out of it.
True. That is a very true statement. So now if you could change one misconception that people have about procurement or supply chain management, what would that be?
Sure. So procurement is not just about negotiating prices, getting the best deal just from a price standpoint, but building building supply chains and building supplier relationships that support long-term business success, right? So procurement drives the risk management, ensures the ethical sourcing, and shapes sustainability across global organizations or operations, I should say. Um, it's just visibility, making sure that we understand it's like the iceberg model where all the things happen under the water,
Yes.
but you only see the top of it, right? So just developing the relationship overall is something that we focus on from a procurement and supply management standpoint, both sides, right?
Yep.
It takes both sides to build that relationship. So just making sure that we are intentional about that, and that we do talk about strategic topics and we're consistent about it. So educating each other as we're going through platforms like ISM, we have a neutral ground, right, to have topics and conversations around things that are not specific to a company, but a lot of situations are the same right across the different companies and functions really. So topics are similar. So we do have a lot of that collaboration going on across different levels of people in different stages of their career, different industries, and it's supply chain is supply chain.
Yeah.
Depends if I've been in different industries from IT to oil and gas and mining to specialty chemical manufacturing. So the topics are usually similar across the
Oh yeah.
board
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
You can be doing different things, but at the end of the day, we're all faced with the same issues.
Exactly.
Whether doesn't matter what company you're working for, we
Right.
all face the
Right.
same issues for sure.
Hmm.
So I'm sold on ISM. You sold me on that. So I'm over here. I'm new in the industry. How do I connect and get involved with ISM? What's the easiest way, whether it's locally, nationally, globally? How would I get engaged?
So there are a lot of ISM is a global organization. There's opportunities to get involved with ISM in your local area and also globally. So and nationally, right? So we have a conference coming up in April. That is the one time per year that we all get together as a entire organization. But I think locally, just showing up, going to the events, getting plugged in, and meeting people in your community. Um, we have a mixer coming up on the north side of town this week. So like there's a lot of ways to get involved,
Mhm.
whether it's a meeting or social or whatever. It's adaptable depending on what your needs are, right? So ISM has
And
a
these events
LinkedIn
are
page and yeah,
easy to find on the web page, right?
yeah. So
So you go on
we
there,
have
find the events.
so we have a ismworld.com as the overall organization for Houston. It's houston.ismworld. So that is a you can really type into your any web browser ISM World, ISM Houston, and find it pretty easily. LinkedIn as well is a good place to get connected. But showing up to our one of our monthly meetings to talk to some of the board members, find out more about the organization, joining webinar, volunteering for a committee, getting involved. Um, we're always looking for volunteers that are willing to give their time, and it is beneficial to them as well, right? So getting connected there is easy to do, and I'm certainly happy to help with that.
Yeah. And it's like what you said earlier. I mean, you get what you put into it. So
Absolutely.
that's a huge, great life lesson right
Hmm.
there. So on the national level, you said they have an annual meeting. So that
Yes.
brings all the different groups together from all the different cities around
Yep.
the nation. Do
Yep.
they is it a how many folks typically go to this national event?
Oh, I wish I knew the numbers. It's a large thousands of people
Okay.
are going to this meeting. It's usually it's a 2-day event and it's global. So it is people not just from the US but internationally as well. There are a lot of different topics, supply chain topics that are discussed in breakout groups. There's keynote speakers, suppliers or vendors that are there to showcase what they can offer. There's a lot of different aspects to it, a lot of networking opportunities across the board, across the organization. The leadership from ISM World is there and present and presenting as well. So there's a lot that goes into it. I have been to two so far. I will be going again this year. It's in Denver. Looking forward to that. I'm connecting with the ISM at large. Houston is a large part of the organization,
Yeah.
but there are others, a lot more chapters as well.
And what time of the year do they typically do it? You said it's gonna be in
Usually in
Denver?
April,
Okay.
May
All
timeframe.
right. So kinda
Good
catching
time
that
to go to
spring.
Colorado.
Oh, yeah, that springtime in Colorado, you can't
Yeah,
beat it at all.
exactly.
Well, let's wrap up a little bit more on a personal level now. So, what's one book, podcast, or resource you'd recommend to supply chain professionals?
Oh, that's hard to narrow down. So I've been reading a little bit about this AI topic again.
Mhm.
AI Driven Leader is a book that I'm reading now by GF Woods. Um, Also, another book I recently read was Trust by Henry Cloud. Building that trust, keeping the trust, rebuilding trust just within your organization in general. And
Mhm.
just it's been super helpful and applicable. Lots of different podcasts. ISM actually has a podcast called Unfiltered. So
Okay.
that's pretty interesting take on what's going on in the supply chain world. There's a few more too, but that I mean, there's always so much to learn. Podcasts and audiobooks are my
Oh, yeah.
thing. So there's an endless amount of information out there. So
Oh, I
enjoy
appreciate you
tapping into
yeah,
that for sure.
yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. And then outside the boardroom, what keeps you inspired or grounded?
Let's see. So many things. I love to travel, domestically, internationally. So traveling, volunteering in other areas, spending time with family and friends, um, mentoring students really outside. I mean, even within ISM, but outside of ISM as
Yeah,
well. New colleagues and things like that. So I enjoy spending time with people and seeing what we can do to
yeah,
develop each other.
that's great. Now, if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of career advice, what would that be?
I would say, to speak up sooner, build relationships, be intentional. Um, just have your voice in a conversation, right? Don't sit back. Make sure that your voice is heard because everybody has the opportunity to bring value to the table.
Rita, this has been outstanding. I appreciate you taking all this time to talk to me today. You gave me and us a very clear look into what ISM is doing behind the scenes, how the PMI connects to real economic conditions, and what skills and mindset the next generation of supply chain leaders need to bring to the table. Your insights on mentorship, ethics, technology, and leadership were spot on. And I know a lot of people listening will walk away with a clear picture of where the profession is heading. Thank you again for spending time with me and for everything you're doing on the ISM board. And to everyone listening, if this conversation sparked something for you, get plugged in to your local ISM chapter and explore their certifications. It's one of the best ways to level up in this field. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your network. Let's keep the momentum going. Until next time, I'm John Ward. Stay strong, stay focused, and keep forging ahead.